Joe, you went to Charleston, didn't you?
I did. And if you don't know about my trip to Charleston, go back and listen to the crazy story of how Cheryl and I ended up there. Much more crazy than getting to hang out with Crystal herself in New York City.
Of course.
But why don't I give you 5 great things to do in Charleston, South Carolina?
Oh, most definitely. I can't wait to hear. I've only been there once, so I'm looking forward to what to do on my return trip.
I went to college in Charleston. The city has changed so much since I was there,
Oh,
which is surprising because I was in college like yesterday. But man, did we have a great time. So, Crystal, what's the magic phrase?
let's get this show on the road.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Stacking Adventures podcast. I'm Joe Saul-Sehy.
And he's Crystal. I'm Crystal.
You,
Wait.
you are Crystal. I usually introduce you. I
What? I
changed it up
know.
on
What
you.
did you do? I'm like,
I'm
this
messing
doesn't
with
feel
you.
right. Don't do that. Don't do that again.
I'm sorry.
0 stars.
It will never happen again. It's because you're wearing the Ohio State hat, and I was
It's
triggered.
lovely. It
Oh,
is lovely.
gross. It is.
Well, you can make it up to me by telling me what to do. So I get to Charlotte.
To
What
Charleston,
am I?
not
I knew
Charlotte.
that. Ah, Charleston, and I wrote that down too. All right, I get to Charleston. What am I gonna do? I've never been to Charleston.
Charleston is a gorgeous city. It is. So when you said you've been there once, you met Charlotte you've been
No,
to
I
once.
sure did.
That's
I've
funny.
been to Charlotte.
Yes. So while Charlotte is a beautiful city and not that far from the mountains and not that far from the Piedmont, it is nothing like Charleston. Charleston, definitely the deep south, definitely you get this great low country vibe. There is
Mhm.
a market downtown which is really fun. It has all kinds of knickknacks and shops and stalls and good foods, and there's restaurants on either side of this long, narrow market. What's interesting is when I was at the Citadel, I heard that this market was a slave market where they had sold slaves. And that
Oh,
since the 80s has been debunked. A lot of slaves went there on behalf of their masters to sell stuff. And in fact, they did sell slaves in Charleston, but that wasn't in the market. So I originally thought this market was kind of gross, kind of a place that, has this bad past. The whole city is part of a really bad period of
mhm.
our history, but it is also so beautiful, so worth visiting. And since I left there, the food scene has sprung up. There is a restaurant called Husk where the chef that created Husk was kind of the first really beginning of being foodies in Charleston. Like Charleston always had some good
Mhm.
restaurants, but you never thought of, oh, I'm a foodie. I'm going to go to Charleston. Now, oh Lord, you can get
Interesting.
everything from just counter service, great stuff to quick eats to great desserts to the full-fledged, chef tasting menu. So restaurants front and center, but also is a bunch of other stuff. So why don't I give you my top 5 things to do?
Okay, yeah, it definitely sounds like Charleston. It sounds like it's almost given almost like Old Town where you arrive and it looks like you're just transported back to a postcard, like in an old,
100%.
like,
When
snowy city.
when I went to visit you and we had our Emily and I had our book event
The
in
book
Charleston,
Mhm.
or not in Charleston, with you.
In
What
Old Town.
y y
Yeah,
y
Old
yeah,
Town.
yeah, we had an Old Town. It was just it absolutely gave off a similar vibe, very much. You would
Ah,
absolutely love the vibe that it has. There's a row of houses called
nice.
Rainbow Row, and along the Battery, on one side, you can see Fort Sumter out in the middle of the harbor.
Ooh.
You can walk up along the wall, but across the street are these, uh, just unbelievably gorgeous and expensive row houses, just straight up and down, most of them
Yep.
attached to each other with a garden either beside it on
Mhm.
one side. Just incredible. And these long, 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 if you think Savannah, Georgia, these long, long, long patios with the old style fan going around because they can be hotter than hell in the middle of summer in
Oh, I
Charleston,
believe it.
South Carolina. So there are 85 things to do. Let me give you top
Of
five. Number
course.
one is I often like saving money on accommodations.
Mhm.
Accommodations in Charleston, South Carolina, not the cheapest. And so when you look at Charleston, you might go, you know what? I'm just going to go and find cheaper accommodations in one of the suburbs and we'll drive in every day. I think if you can afford it, that's a big mistake. And the
Mm.
reason is waking up and being at the market before the crowds of tourists get there and just being able to walk back to your hotel. It's an incredibly walkable city,
Mhm.
incredibly walkable. So you will save a ton of money on parking because parking is almost impossible in downtown Charleston. So you're going to pay for parking every day. You're going to pay for all the all the convenience fees you get of just trying to make your way downtown.
Right.
Um, you're going to have this bonus of I wake up. So we stayed at a hotel called the Emmeline. Now, Emmeline spelled Emeline, like a woman's
Oh,
name.
yeah.
Emmeline Hotel is right off this beautiful market downtown. And so you're right next to it. You are centrally located. When Cheryl and I would go to restaurants, we would walk everywhere.
Yep,
We went on a
nice.
ghost tour and we walked. We went on a food tour. We walked to it. We went up and down the market. We went to almost all the places on my list except one we were able to walk to from. And I got to tell you, Crystal,
Ugh.
it was in Travel and Leisure because this hotel's also beautiful. And there is an upside to staying in a place that's beautiful. They had filtered water and fruit on every floor. So you would
Hmm.
love that. Uh, at the end of every day, Cheryl went and got a big thing of water, filled
Right.
up her water jug. At the end the day, she got another one. You had coffee that could be delivered to your room. You also had a record player in your room with records
Cute.
of songs that are kind of depict Charleston. Really, really neat place. The bad news is I got 3 records and 2 of them skipped, but the 3rd one was
Uh,
really good. So I played that and you still got the nice crackly sound. The rooms
that's
at the Emmeline are
classic.
amazing, but it isn't cheap. Your
Okay.
average night when we were there was around $400 a night. And I know a lot of people hear that and they go, I'm out." Charleston's not a cheap city. If you spend money on that one thing, you can really cut back on a lot of other stuff.
Right,
And
I
I'm gonna
would cut back on snacks too, the snacks, the waters, and the walking, like, I love a good walk instead of Uber or any other kinda way to, get around town.
Yeah, there's an expensive restaurant that is really good and highly rated in the lobby. It didn't make my top 5. We went there and it was just
Okay.
grossly expensive. It was grossly expensive. So we had drinks there one night and I kind of regretted it. I didn't really have a great time there. I could have been down the street at any place, but staying there 100% do it. Emmeline. Here's a cool thing you'll also like, Crystal. Emmeline also has bicycles. You can rent
Ah.
not even rent, excuse me, free bicycles. So if we couldn't walk, if things were a little bit further away, we would grab a bike and we could bicycle to this restaurant that's a mile and a half away. And it came with a lock and the whole thing and it was free with your stay. So another upside besides being walkable is the bicycles. It rained
And
one
free
day,
exercise,
free
yeah.
exercise, absolutely. Uh, so
That's right up my alley.
where did we bicycle to? The next thing on my list is out by the medical center. So this was about a mile and a half away from downtown, which is beautiful because you're
Mhm.
bicycling down these streets with these gorgeous Charleston houses. And you can find many ways to get there. I just I had my phone in the basket in front of me and I would just pull over and check it
Hmm.
every few blocks. Charleston, the cars go slow enough. It's not really made for bikes, but it also wasn't horrible getting out there. But we went to a meat market slash deli called the
Ooh.
Porchetta
Oh.
shop, Porchetta shop. And these freaking sandwiches. Had we known, we would have split one. You walk in, it's just a small, narrow place.
Uh,
They have these wood tables that are high up that you stand at to eat if you want to. You can get chips and a
mhm.
drink if you want with it. Like it is, they're making you meat sandwiches. These sandwiches were so high and so juicy. Juice is just coming out, pouring all over my
Mm.
beard. It was so delicious. I had this mushroom and roast beef and onions, with cheese on this. I don't remember. I think it was on sourdough bread, but it was huge. Cheryl and I should have split one. We actually, because we had the bicycles,
Mm.
we started to eat them standing up, but I'm like, why am I standing up here? I went to the Citadel. You can just wrap them up. The Citadel is a few blocks further away from downtown. There's a
Mhm.
beautiful park called Hampton Park. We went out in the middle of the park. There was a gorgeous fountain. We sat there at a picnic table, ate these sandwiches, and it was gorgeous. And so you're out in the middle of Charleston. But the porchetta shop split a sandwich,
Okay.
not because it's expensive, but because it's too much food. It's too much food for one person.
No, that's
Yeah.
great.
Next up, well, you know what? I'm gonna do one more, and then
Okay.
I'll give you the last two. Uh, Nighttime. You're looking for a place to hang out. Crystal always has these great social media pieces about places she goes and hang out that have a great vibe. This place is so cool. We were actually hanging out with friends this weekend from Texarkana, and our friend Susie said, she goes, "Oh my goodness, I went to this event in Charleston a couple years ago, and I stayed very close to downtown."
Mhm.
All right, it's telling me that it can't connect, yet you hear me. Do you hear me?
Twice already. Yeah. Can you hear me? Nope. I heard you. How did it kick him off? Oh gosh. That's gonna make for awful editing. That's dumb.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard you, but then it kicked you off.
Yeah, it was
And
so
it
weird.
if and I froze
I
twice.
know, I saw that.
Yeah, because I was like, "What's the weather like? What was the weather? What time were you there?"
Ah.
But it yeah.
Yeah, do you wanna ask me that now?
This is dumb. Okay, yep. All right, 3, 2, 1. So what was the weather like? What time of year did you guys go down there?
We went down there in, the end of June, so not a
Okay.
time generally that I like being in Charleston, South Carolina,
Mhm.
but still, if you stay downtown, you can
Mhm.
easily get to places in the heat. Always have water. That's why I appreciated the water on every floor.
Yeah.
So, uh, uh,
And fruit,
yeah, and
because fruit
fruit.
keeps you very hydrated.
So I just packed all that every place we went. All right, third thing before we go to
Okay.
our break, a friend of ours that we hang out with in Charleston or here in Texarkana, Susie, had been to Charleston and she goes, "Oh my goodness, if I knew you were going to Charleston, I would have told you to go have a drink at a place called the Gin Joint." And Cheryl and I started laughing because we were going to tell them about the Gin Joint. We're going to tell Susie. So what is the Gin Joint? It's down on a street very close to the water, and it is snuggled between some other bigger restaurants and bigger places, and it maybe has room for 20 people. There's a nice, attractive sign that just says the Gin Joint. There's a little outdoor area where you can sit. Of course, it's hotter than hell in June, so we did not sit
Yeah.
out there. You go inside, and the decor is amazing. It's like a library with books and the bottles, of course, that are all lit
Hmm.
from the bottom, so you get this beautiful
Mhm.
effect. This kind of dark room, so it feels like a speakeasy, except it's out in the open.
Hmm.
Great vibe. But when you go in there, they give you a drink menu that has these awesome drink names. But the
Uh-huh.
coolest, so you can pick one, which is what I did. I picked a couple different drinks and had those. Cheryl did the thing that was a bartender's choice. And
Ooh.
what they give you is a list of words. They give you a bunch of
Hmm.
words and you choose 2 words and the bartender makes a drink based on those words.
Huh.
So Cheryl chose, I think she chose light and tart.
Okay.
Those are the
Oh.
2 words. And so she gets her first drink. loves it. It is amazing. And she gets done with that drink, and we're having a good time. We're visiting friends that live in Charleston, um,
Mhm.
a, a couple of people that we just don't get to see enough. And so we're the waitress comes back and she asks Cheryl what she wants next. She goes, I think I'm going to pick two different. I love this drink,
Mhm.
but I think I'm going to pick two different words because I want to try something new. And the woman goes, You like that drink? And she goes, Yeah. And listen to this, the waitress said, "If you like that drink, use the same 2 words and he will make you something completely different, but that you'll still really
Oh.
like." So she did. She said light and tart again and got a drink that was completely
Mhm.
different that she liked equally.
Huh.
So fun, so
Interesting.
different, the gin joint. All right, those are my top 3. In the second half of today's show, I'm gonna tell you and Crystal about an event I wouldn't have been caught dead doing when I was a student at the Citadel. There's no way in hell I would have been caught dead doing this, but we had a blast, and you should do this too. And my favorite restaurant in all of Charleston. The whole time I've been there, and I've been there a bazillion times, and as I said earlier, went to school there. So we will be right back.
Boom. Yeah,
Crystal,
it
the
froze again.
Oh, here we go. No, I wasn't frozen. I was
Go
just
ahead.
pausing. Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1. Crystal, the gin joint, out of all these things and the bicycles, totally, totally you.
Sounds sexy too. That, gin joint would definitely be a place that I would probably hit up first on my list, and probably more than once.
I would have loved to have heard what your 2 words would have been because it was just fun. It was so
Yeah,
playful, you know?
because I love chocolate and coconut. I would have found a way to put those 2 or see if those fit into the words. What yours would have been?
You know what's funny? I don't remember the list of words
Right.
from the thing. Let's see if I can look it up really quick. Um,
Or what are your two words when you're looking for when you're scanning the page for a drink, what are the 2 words that catch your attention?
uh, you know,
Right.
I am definitely I'm definitely not a mixed drink person. So let me give you the ones that they give you because I was able to find it very quickly. These are all the words that are on the gin joints list: refreshing, tart,
Mhm.
savory, spicy, fizzy,
Ooh.
licorice, herbal, bitter, unusual, floral, smoky, sweet, and vegetal. So I think from that list,
Oh,
I guess I was wrong, but she definitely went with she went with tart and refreshing. She went tart and refreshing.
okay. Yeah, I would pick spicy and smoky. Those would be my 2.
Oh, that'd be fun. But you know what you could tell? You could even tell the waitress, so you could say, I really like chocolate too. If there's a way to incorporate
Yeah.
chocolate in that, see if they can
Yeah.
do that. Bartender can come back and say they
Liquid.
can't do it. It was so, so, so fun.
Yeah.
So go to the gin joint. All right. 2 more. This is the thing that I would have never been caught dead doing. I thought it was super touristy back when I was a student. I didn't wanna do any of the super touristy stuff. Like going on a
Mhm.
food tour, acceptable. Ghost tour,
Yes.
acceptable. Those are fun. But this thing, we went out into the suburbs and we did a sunset booze cruise that takes off
Oh, I
from
love those.
about 7 or 8 miles away, and then takes you out into the harbor and you watch the sunset over Charleston. And they don't tell you any history. There's a lot of history, but
Mhm.
they even tell you right at the beginning, we're not going to tell you any history. We are not going to talk to you. There's a bar in the back. We're going to play music and you're going to watch the sun go down. So we're out on this big, huge catamaran, and that's exactly what happened. They serve drinks. We went there a little bit early. It's in this great area where there are just a bunch of bar restaurants. And so we went to this restaurant. If you went to a restaurant early, you get free
Mhm.
parking. And so we went early. We had a couple drinks so we could get free parking. So we didn't have to pay. The parking was going to be a ridiculous number. So I'm like, why not just drink it? Right. So so we so
Uh-huh.
we have a couple drinks there and we get on the catamaran and then we have a couple glasses of wine on the catamaran. We watch the sunset. It was amazing. It was incredible.
Oh.
$65 a person, worth every penny. Worth every penny of the
Mm.
65 bucks.
No, I agree. I've done that for my birthday before here in DC, the booze cruise in Georgetown, and it was a huge hit. Even did it like a couple other times too, just because it was just so much fun.
Isn't that funny? Because, when I hear that phrase, I'm always just like, God, no, 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 no.
Lame.
But on this trip, I was like, I just want to be out on a boat. I don't want anybody, I love history. I love going on history tours, but I just don't want it. I just want to be on the boat,
Mhm,
somebody else driving. I
mhm.
don't care if there's other people or not. It was great. It was great.
Yep,
If you do go, by the
yep.
way, they load up this catamaran with people. They load up with a lot of people. Some people couldn't sit down. They had to stand the whole time because they were the last ones to get
Okay,
there. Get in line maybe 20 minutes before the boat takes off, just so you're able to. We got two of the last seats and we were there about 15 minutes early. So, and they
okay.
warn you, by
Not
the way, they
bad.
tell you get there half an hour early and we were late at that.
Right.
All right. Last thing I have, then I
Hmm.
have a couple of
Honorable
honorable mentions,
mention.
and you can ask me some questions if you've got them, Crystal, about Charleston.
Okay.
But my favorite restaurant, if you're really going to do the foodie thing, go in with both feet and go to a place called Circa 1886. Circa
Hmm.
1886 is behind one of the biggest mansions in Charleston. It's actually in the carriage house, what was
Hmm.
originally the carriage house. So they've turned the biggest mansion into a boutique hotel, which was beautiful. We had to walk through it to get to the restaurant. You could actually, if you drove, you go around the back, but again, we walked. So we
Mhm.
go through the beautiful mansion. The guy at the front desk, by the way, don't be afraid to walk into any of these historic places if they're open and ask questions. So we walked in, we were a little bit early, and the guy gave us just a tour of the first floor and told us, we didn't even ask him for a
Wow.
tour. He's just like, come look at it. Come, because we're like, oh, so when
Hmm.
was it? Whose was it? What happened? Told us the whole history of it. And then he showed us if you just walk through that lobby to the back around the corner, there's a beautiful garden and backyard, and there is the carriage house. There's like a trellis and you walk down this old, stone walkway to a front door. The woman who opened the door, I didn't realize was a sommelier who opened the door, who greeted us. They take us to our table, which happened to be right next to a beautiful fireplace that if you went in the winter would have been gorgeous the way it
Mhm.
would have been going. Of course, again, it was really hot, but it was also the bar. And I just like the hum of the bar. So there are people sitting at the bar. There's maybe 8 places to sit at the bar, but we're at a high top table next to the bar and this fireplace. And if you go to circa 1886, you have to get the chef's tasting menus, and they have 2
Nice.
to choose from. And I don't believe that you get a choice. I think if you go there, you're getting the tasting menu. Now you can decide whether you want to pair it with wine or not. We did, but you can decide not
Mhm.
to.
Ooh.
And when you get it, they have 2 tasting menus, and they're named after the 2 rivers that are on either side of Charleston. So there's Charleston Harbor up front, and then there's the Ashley River over here and the Cooper River over there. So one is the Cooper tasting menu and one is the Ashley tasting menu.
Cooper.
I know, our
It's
Cooper,
named
my
after a
cat.
cat, a famous cat.
It totally is. It would have never been the other way around. Never, ever.
No.
Cheryl gets one, and this was, by the way,
Mhm.
something somebody online told us to do. Again, go on TripAdvisor
Nice.
and do some research, but they're like, "Listen, go there, get the 2 tasting menus and share them back and forth." And so she got one, I got the other. I would eat half of mine, give the rest to her. She would half
Nice.
we go back and forth. This place, when the bill came, I will warn you again. 3 of these things are not super expensive. The gin joint, the drinks are not cheap, but you don't have to have more than 1, or maybe just
Right.
have 2. The porchetta shop, very inexpensive. The Sunset Cruise, $65 a person, fantastic
Mhm.
value for your money. Staying downtown at Emmeline was very expensive. Circa 1886, when that bill came, I opened it up, Crystal. If I've had a more expensive meal, it was maybe once or twice. But
Wow.
also, one of the times I had a really expensive meal, I opened up the bill and I went, "Yeah, no. No, 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 no." At this place, I opened it up and I went, "Yup, worth
That's fair.
every
Yeah.
penny,
Mm.
worth every
Mm.
penny." So, it's going to be super expensive to go to 1886, but
Okay.
it is one of the finest dining experiences I've ever had. The waiter was awesome. The sommelier was awesome. The wines were incredible. The food was amazing. The ambiance, even though we were at a high top in the bar area, was
Wow.
fabulous. Was just
Huh.
fabulous. Just the whole
Sounds
carriage house vibe.
luxurious.
Oh, it was.
Mhm.
It was so
Yeah.
great. It was a good just go to Charleston, find a date night, have somebody take you there, Crystal, so it's free for you, and it'll be perfect.
Good luck. Oh, that sounds amazing. So what did you bring back? You know, that's my favorite question.
I brought back
Did you buy anything?
we did. We actually the biggest thing that we brought
Yay.
back were actually drinks. We brought back we went
Huh.
to we went out, and you have to have a car to do this, but we went out to a, tea plantation one day, and we actually brought back some
Ooh.
tea. It's America's largest tea plantation. And what was neat about it wasn't, and I don't really drink tea, but this tea
I
plantation,
do.
well, then you would love it. I actually, what was amazing was that I
Yeah.
loved it. It's called the Charleston Tea Garden. And when you go
Okay.
there,
That sounds fantastic.
you can actually they have like a trolley car tour, and
Huh.
you buy the tour. Of course, you tip the guide, so bring some money for a tip. But the tour is well worth it. Don't go all the way out to this place because it's a ways away. It's maybe a half-hour drive out of town,
Okay.
maybe even 40 minutes. But uh, go to the tea garden. The tea garden for a long time was independent, and they teach you how they make tea on this tour. You get out and you see the
Mhm.
different things that they do. You follow some of their current thoughts, like they've bought some sheep, and they bought the sheep or some goats. They bought some goats because the goats will eat some of the weeds, and will clean the place up in
Mm.
a manner that they can use less or continue to use no pesticides, right? So fantastic going out there
Nice.
and meeting the goats. You go back, they have also a free tour inside of all the machinery they use to make the tea. But in their big main visitor center, along one wall, cold teas, hot teas, all free, even if you don't take the tour. You just go there and you can sample raspberry
Wow.
tea and peach tea, and I mean, you name it, they've got the tea. Right next to that, right down the street from that was, so we brought home some tea, but the bigger thing was down the street from it, there
What's
was a
bigger than
winery.
tea? I can't
There was a
Mhm.
winery.
I can't believe you didn't think okay, that is bigger than tea. Alright, 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 fine.
Yes.
You
S
win.
and it was interesting because we did the wine tasting, and you have to pay a small amount for it. The winery is called Deepwater Vineyard. It is out of
Okay.
town. They only do wine tastings Tuesday through Saturday, but you go there, it's gorgeous. As you drive in, you've got those live oaks that you imagine with Charleston and the Low Country and the Spanish
Mhm.
moss hanging off of them, and you just feel like it is just beautiful. You
Oh,
drive up the driveway, you can see the grapes. I drink a fair amount of wine, and I know that what we're gonna be drinking is muscadine grapes, and this stuff
okay.
is syrupy, it's nasty, right? I mean, that's what I think when I think Moscato.
Oh.
I think Moscato wine. I'm like, "No," some people love it.
Oh,
Some people love it.
that's good. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I can't stand it. It's way too sweet. So
Oh.
we get there, and the woman asks us if we want to do the wine tasting. Sure, she takes us in the back where they do them. You get to choose 5 different wines, and Cheryl chose 5 and I chose 5, and they have 12 total, so we end up choosing 10 of
Oh.
the 12 that were available. The woman leads off with, she goes, when you think great wines, you think Charleston, South Carolina. And we both start laughing because, of course, you don't think Charleston, South Carolina. And she
No.
meant it as a joke. And she talks about their program, about
Got it.
how a lot of people think that the Moscatos are really sweet, and a lot of people like that. She goes, but we don't do that. She goes, ours are much, much lighter. And I was like, okay, okay.
Hmm.
And so they gave us those wines, and they were light. They were much, much lighter, much
Oh.
less syrupy than I'm used to. The cool thing, though, is they have paired with another vineyard in Sonoma Valley. And so that what they do is something very crazy. They, the winemaker takes these traditional wines from California and combines them with their Moscato. So we had a
Oh. A
Moscato
hybrid?
Cabernet mix. I took it to a family
Oh.
event, and I have a friend named Lynn, a cousin named Lynn, who really likes wine like I do, and she's always fun to taste wines with. And I g- I told Lynn about this wine. She's like, Charleston, no thanks. And then she tastes some after I tell her about it, and she said
Pass.
exactly what I said, which was, it's really busy, the wine taste. There's a lot of stuff going on that if you like traditional wines, like, there's some magic happening here. Like, meaning that they're playing
Mhm.
with a lot of new flavors that you probably never had. She's like, but it isn't bad. Like, it doesn't suck.
Huh.
We actually bought 12 bottles of wine and had them shipped to our house. It was that good.
12?
We bought a whole case because you got a discount for 6 or another bigger discount for 12.
Yeah.
And I thought, over the next year, as we have people over, we'll have some of these wines.
Yeah.
And we've already drank maybe 7 of them. Yeah, good stuff. So
Oh.
those are, if you have a car and you can get out there, I would go to the tea. The tea place, by the way, was bought by Bigelow Tea. They still run it separately, but they have the money of a big name tea house like Bigelow. If you know tea, you know Bigelow. And
Oh, yeah.
the winery's right down the street. So do both of those together.
Oh, that's a good honorable mention.
So that's what
Both
that's
of
what I
those.
that's what I brought home.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. That's my favorite part of what did you bring home?
Brought home a lot of wine.
That's where I usually go crazy.
Crystal's
Yay.
like, I'm coming over. All right.
I know you said people. I'm like, I'm people.
That's gonna do it for today.
I'm people.
It's funny. I have a cold, so I'm gonna start laughing and coughing. You are people. Crystal's good people.
Push the cough button.
I
Push the
know.
cough button. Remember if that was a joke on Frasier when he's like, if you want to cough, push the button. And she said, how does the button know I need to cough?
That's what that's
Ah,
hold on a second, everybody. Hold on. Nope, not that one.
there you go.
There we go. Yeah.
You're welcome. I stole your dad joke moment.
You did. Nice job. I'm rubbing off on you.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up soon, we have been busy scheduling new guests, and we have a guest named Rebecca
Yes.
coming up who went to Scandinavia.
Hoo-hoo. I cannot wait to
I
hear
know
about
you
Scandinavia.
said, as we were texting back and forth, you're like, I've always wanted to go.
It's definitely on my list. A
It's
1000%.
on my list too. And I saw Rebecca's pictures. I showed you some of Rebecca's pictures.
Yes.
And
So I'm
holy
ready for
cow.
guidance. I'm ready. Ready for guidance.
So that is coming up next on, well, maybe not next, but that's coming up soon on Stacking Adventures. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you know somebody headed to Charleston, or if
Yes.
you've been to Charleston, let us know. Tell us about your
Definitely
Charleston.
let
Yeah.
us know. Exactly. Head to stackingadventures.com/my story and you can record a story up to 5 minutes of your experience. Did you go to the same place as Joe? Did you think the check was peanuts compared to where you normally eat? Let us know.
Do you
It's my
disagree with any of the
stacking
points?
adventures.
I'd like that. You're like,
Yes.
"I'd never stay at the
Yeah,
Emmeline."
he doesn't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, we need some verbal confirmage for Joe's trip. So stackingadventures.com/my story. We'd love to hear from you.
You can also hang out with us on Facebook in our Facebook group, and just go put Stacking Adventures Clubhouse into the search window when you get to Facebook, and come join our little community of other travelers, other adventures, and share
Yeah.
your stories. It's always fun to hear different people's stories, and we also try to share a lot of photos from our
The
adventures.
visuals. Yeah,
Yes.
the visuals is the fun part in the group.
We gotta have you share more of these restaurants you
Wonderful.
go to. I see these all the time that
I
you
know.
that you
I
post
will.
personally, and holy cow, those are good.
They're a lot of fun.
All
A
right,
lot of fun.
she is Crystal.
And I'm Joe. He's Joe.
We'll see you next time. Keep on adventuring.